I'm planning of like talking about the big drama we're having right now in the Overwatch community, which I think it's very interesting. A lot of people are hating on Awkward right now in the Overwatch community, and I kind of get the viewpoint. I think the choice of the wordings he did was not really that good. But basically what happened was Questron replied publicly about that because of streaming, he lost basically everything. Yeah, you even see it here. Like, I lost all my real life friends, my entire future depends on public approval, my biological clock in the time zone is 6 hours away from where I get to see the sunrise. I don't get to have any humane interaction aside from the supermarket cashier once every 2 weeks. And what Questron does, he does a lot of good stuff. Like, he has crazy Twitch animations, but the thing is, the views he gets and so on, he doesn't get too much. Like, he has maybe 300 views and stuff like that, which is still good. It's actually great in my opinion. And it's all about like how you can get people to subscribe to your YouTube channel, to your Twitch, if you really want this to be your full-time job. Like, you gotta find ways to actually promote people to do that more often. Some people are great at that, some people are, not that great with that stuff, right? Questron has amazing animations, and I'm like always inspired every time I'm watching Questron. I don't think I follow him on Twitter, but he's basically a Sombra main. Now I follow him on Twitter. I think he's doing an amazing job. I do watch him on Twitch quite a lot, and he's basically saying that he has some really bad, like, he's feeling bad. I do kind of understand that his animations takes time to do, and he works a lot. He works quite a lot every single day, and streaming / making YouTube content is one of the like very, very heavy jobs to do. Like, it is heavy to do, especially if you do everything yourself. Like, if you edit all your videos self, if you do all the animations yourself, you gotta basically stream and all that stuff. It's more than just a full-time job. It is. And I think a lot of people don't realize that until they're in this shit, and they're like, shit, I need to actually perform now all the time, compared to when it was for an example, part-time job or doing it for a hobby. It's not the same. But once you realize you gotta do this and you need to perform, otherwise you will not get any money from it, that's a stressy job, and that can actually really pain you if you do not have a very healthy community. And that's basically what he is talking about by replying from Jeff. Keep up conversation in chat, engaging, entertaining all the time, regular produce content, ideas that bring in new viewers. In his opinion here, Awkward, you choose to be lazy. I used to stream, play professionally, having a girlfriend, friends, and train, and I consider it to be lazy today. Before streamers became streamers, they still played all day. The only distinction now is a simple click of start stream. And I do understand kind of where this take comes from. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of streamers that just press start stream. But then we have streamers, like, in my opinion, like Questron, that has effects like this. Like, he does this on OBS. He has way more stuff. He's not lazy with his content. The unfortunate part is it doesn't pay off as maybe we wish it would be, right? But I believe that if he keeps going, it's nice. But he's pretty harsh, and this is where people really despise Awkward because of this thing. He's like, I looked at your profile, you've been creating scenes for years despite no interest, and thinking you are unlucky because no one watches. Unwillingly change combined with being out of shape and looking like you haven't been visiting barber for months equals lazy. So the thing is, this is like a really poor way to just... I do agree with Boger here. He basically made a video talking about this on stream. He just disagreed with Awkward and stuff like that. And the main point that I view on the Boger was he chose the words poorly. And the way he said it, and when he started to say like, hey, if you think someone is out of shape, you don't say you're fat and ugly type of situation, right? Because this is basically harassment in that sense. Like, nobody asked to get harassed this way, and it is kind of a bullying. And I think personally, sure, Awkward has a view and opinion that I think many people can agree with, but the way he said it was very wrong, and he did not talk to Questron. I don't think he even watched. Here's the thing, I don't even think Awkward watch his stuff, and I will say Questron is not a lazy streamer. I think he's very entertaining all the time, and he has a lot of good stuff, right? I think just these stuff was too harsh to just go out and get some publicity for this. And this is also what Boger said, which I do agree with. If you want to help, because that was the whole point of this tweet from what Awkward said. If he truly wanted to help Questron, he should have said this stuff private, in DM, which he didn't. And Questron still said, like, I saw tweets not too long ago, what he basically said that he still hasn't talked to him privately about this, which I do believe is kind of a poor way to even have a relationship with anyone. Those kind of feedback should be held in private and be constructive. I agree, and not in public, 100%. I do agree with that. And some people says, like, it's hypocrisy and stuff like that, like don't be bully. And I've seen some comments of like, hey, don't be a hypocrite and stuff like that. And there's one thing I want to say completely about this, because people are calling Awkward right now a hypocrite because he has said in the past to not like bully people online publicly, right? You should not do that, which Awkward kind of does today, right? I do kind of believe that everyone in the world is a hypocrite. Even me. Every single person in the world is a hypocrite in one way or another. It is, and it will always be. You cannot not be a hypocrite because that's humane. You can say one thing, and I promise you that you said it, and you will do it or has done it, and you just don't know it. So I believe every single person that kind of says he's a hypocrite is also a hypocrite in different situations. That's something I just want to let everyone to keep in mind. I don't believe a person, personally, I don't believe anyone to not be a hypocrite. I think everyone is it, but in what degree are you a hypocrite of? Like, you can have degrees, you can have like amount of hypocrisy in your life if you do it every day, or if you say something once but it doesn't necessarily match up your beliefs another time. It is still a hypocrite, but you don't really see that picture until maybe that is explained, right? And I think that kind of situation is where Awkward is now. I think he does this more for the clicks than actually want to help out, which is a little bit sad, because I think Awkward I think he's pretty good at making content. And I think a lot of people are complaining about lazy content where he's just doing unranked to GMs, right? He has done that a lot, and that's his content basically on YouTube, which in a way, yes, it is very, very simple, and it's lazy in a way, but it works. I think you do YouTube content that works, and unranked to GM is something that works. So why shouldn't you? That's kind of how I view it. And then we have this is Overwatch community, right? We have Warren. He's been in the Overwatch community for a very long time, and he says basically this: you choose to be an asshole, you choose to bench your ex-girlfriend, which is no longer loves you, body shaming creators within your community. I'd rather be lazy over what the fuck this is. I personally also think this is type of bullying. I respect Warren too. I think he makes amazing content, but he shows the wordings wrong, where I believe this is also... I understand his intention of, I want to do better. I understand that intention. But the way he worded these things and actually attacks him is also type of bullying. So I don't believe he's much better here in the situation of actually trying to defend it, because now he looks like a hero. But I believe this is also type of bullying. I do believe he could have found a much better way to say this. I think it could definitely be said like, this is very idiotically way to say this, or I do think this is an asshole move. He doesn't need to say like your ex-girlfriend no longer loves you. Body shaming is not good. Yes, I agree. And I'd rather be lazy over what the fuck this is. Sure, I agree. But like with like some stuff here, I do think is kind of a harassment too, right? Not harassment, but I guess bully. I might get a call here soon too. And I need to remember what I was talking about here. This is not a healthy way to, even if you disagree with someone or you think someone is doing a bad move, I don't think this is a healthy way. This is basically just canceling culture in my eyes, and I don't believe that cancel culture is good. I think this is just bad. If you don't agree with something or whatever, you could have said it much better than just being an asshole doing this. Rich coming from a guy only content farming plat players in unranked to GM's videos. I've been trying to undo the damage he's done to average support players for years. She doesn't like his playstyle. That's it. And I understand. Yes, unranked to GM is basically smurfing 24/7 with new accounts to hit GM, and then they put educational on. I do see it, but people want to see it. One way to view it, but I do believe that it is a lazy content style, but it works. And if it works, I have nothing to say. People want to watch that. If people didn't want to watch that, he wouldn't have gotten any views. Don't get me wrong, SK. I also absolutely love your content if this ever reaches her stuff. But then again, like that's how I view it. And I think his playstyle is also pretty healthy, but people are applying his playstyle wrong in the support ways, where doing damage is important in Overwatch, and way too many low-level people do not make that content. Yeah, people are just angry. I'm not gonna retweet this shit. I'm not planning to. I'm probably gonna make a YouTube video about it. But there's been a lot of people just talking about this specific thing. I've been reading a lot of people just doing this. Like, he peaked in high school, takes out his frustration on other streamers and gold players. Like, maybe if he wasn't lazy, he actually made OVW or whatever. We have Spoonie talking about this. I don't know, man. There's been a lot of people just literally just complaining about the whole situation about him. I understand the people are angry, and I think Awkward definitely worded stuff wrong, and I believe he said it way too aggressive and was going against I think they just need to phrase stuff better. Like, some people are just assholes, sure, but there's no reason for you to attack them anyways. I don't believe that's a good choice. Even if your butt hurt, you should not do it. I understand that you can do it and you can be tilted. For example, you're in game and you say stuff because someone is complaining about you, saying negative things to you. Sure, that is that could be, like, you could be in a mode where you slip up and say stuff when you shouldn't. Sure, that could happen. Is that the right thing to do? No. Can it happen? Yeah. Shit, I need to go to the toilet.